Hello everybody, welcome to another day here in the Heroes Launch. Today on this beautiful Saturday, we have the legend, wait for it, there we go. And I'm not alone, as you see already right next to me, we've got Shadow Rider.
Hi folks, hope you're all doing great today. Hope the quarantine's going well for you as well.
And we already see it, it's Donna Fedoras against Hippopotamus, who we see first. So let's take a short look at the bracket right now. We have Donna Fedoras against Hippopotamus as our game. Do you have any infos about those teams?
Yes, as a matter of fact, we do. Now, both of those teams come from Division 2, which is one of the higher divisions in Heroes Lounge. And they are both at the top of their leagues. Currently, we've got Donna Fedoras leading the league itself. And very closely by, they are followed by Hippopotamus.
Those are the two top teams of Division 2, as we have in the Legendary Cup Division 2 and 3 clashing against each other. And they will play against the winner between Band of Brewers and Team Hosty, which are now live on Heroes Launch 2. Then after the Dawn of Fedoras against Hippopotamus game, we see Deers against the Honkus Criminals over here on this channel, and on the other channel we see Anchor against Lucky Play after the Band of Brewers against Hotsy game.
Now, the interesting thing for our first game today for Donna Fedoras against Hippopotamus is both of those teams, they're coming off of win streaks from their divisions. They've both won their last three group stages. And they're very closely matched in terms of map scores and map wins. Now, they've played once against each other back in round 6. And it was a close game with Donna Fedoras winning 2-1 against the Hippopotamus. But I am wondering if Hippopotamus are ready to break something new and show us that they've come prepared to turn this around today.
Thinking about prepared, let's take a short look on the map screen. As we see from the side of Dawn of Fedoras, they decide to remove Sky Temple and Dragon Shire from the map pool. Meanwhile, Hippopotamus removing Infernal Shrine, so the legendary map, which is always played in every series, is removed, and they also remove Volskaya Foundry. And then as the map pick from the side of Dawn of Fedoras, we've got Towers of Doom, so Hippopotamus have the first pick.
So no big surprises there on the map bans. In terms of the Hippopotamus, you said they opted for first pick, didn't you?
They got first pick because of the coin flip.
Fair enough. So it was that was down to luck rather than choice. But I assume they're gonna make use of it. Do you know if they lean towards any specific champions? Do they have like any preferences?
I'm not sure, but due to the latest patch, I think Sul might be high up. Now if he's not even banned, especially on Towers of Doom, a map where you love to have the double King Soul Laner, Sul can do massive amount of work.
It's definitely true. And Team Hippopotamus, they I've got this just now, and apparently they intend to prove to Donna Fedoras that solo Uther heal is not a valid thing. So I expect to see Uther making it through the ban phase with the idea that Donna Fedoras can pick it, and then Hippopotamus can prove their point.
One thing is, some people may not know, Dawn of Fedoras, already a very long team in the Heroes Launch, they also played a few times solo heal Uther.
They have in the past, yes, and usually they make it work. In terms of healers, the one healer they don't like is Malfurion, if I don't mistake my guess. Let me just double check my information. Let's see.
It's quite interesting because most people say that Malfurion is the strongest healer in the game right now.
That certainly could very well be the case. Although Sardonic, the healer player for Donna Fedoras, he very strongly and passionately dislikes Malfurion. I think, if I may quote him, he says something like, Malfurion should burn in hell?
Towers of Doom.
That's a rough statement. Anyways, we are starting into game number 1. Hippopotamus with the first pick on Towers of Doom. can you guys make this stream a little louder? I cannot hear things you say. It's very... I'm sorry, but it's not really easy to do that. First ban, now we talked about the over and there.
This used the ban. I stand corrected. They did not let it through.
And if you think Don our Fedoras will still be able to win this game, exclamation mark bet A in the number of points you want to bet on them. Or if you think Hippopotamus with the overban already destroyed the morale, exclamation mark bet B and the number of points you want to bet on Hippopotamus.
So far, we're seeing very confident bans from both teams as they don't let that timer go through even the first few seconds. And like we talked, Zoo recently got patched, so Dora Fedoras up to ban him first. And then immediately after that, we saw that Chromie ban followed up from Hippopotamus, which probably tells me that they know Dora Fedoras like Chromie and they don't want to have any of that on the first map.
Looking at the bans, we've got Deathwing and Chromie removed as well. And the first pick from Hippopotamus coming in is the Junkrat already. Very interesting one.
Junkrat is at least in my opinion, is a bit of a tricky one on this map. You can get a lot of poke with him around the objectives, and obviously if you find yourself in a position where you need to stall for time until your team gets in a position to contest a specific bell tower, Junkrat could be great. But in the earlier phases of the game, in the rotations of the 4, he is not that strong, at least not in my opinion. Like, if we see, if we look at Donna Fedora's first 2 picks, John and Reina, those are 2 very solid people for the 4-bed rotation.
And Reina, a really strong duo coming in there already. Hippopotamus, what will they answer? They are looking at Rega and ETC. See,
No
not the tank having the most fun against Janna and Rainer, I have to say. Rainer with the knockback, of course, able to interrupt the pause light or the mosh pit, and so is Janna with the unstoppable. And the condemn, really annoying for the side of ETC.
I think Slappy might very well consider stage dive against that lineup he's facing. Although, like, don't get me wrong, mosh pit is still great. It can still turn around big fights, but is he going to be, realistically speaking, is he going to be able to pull it off against so many interrupts already? That's the question.
Now we've got the next ban already coming in. Don our Fedoras decide to remove the Vala. And on the other side, Hippopotamus removing the Saria. As we see on the other side, Ruini, even though he picked the Reina, he can still go for the Saria, as he's known to play a lot of Saria. Also, the ATC could be solo lane.
That's true, and if he does go to the solo lane, that would mean that it's more likely we see the stage dive as opposed to the mosh pit, which another global presence, it lets you have a global presence rather, which is quite valuable on Towers of Doom. Now we see Mofurian and Chen. Chen, a very strong solo lane, although we haven't seen too much of him recently, have we?
Not really, but the thing of Chen is lacking a little bit of wave clear for Towers of Doom to effectively double soak. So
he's a very good duelist, but he's not gonna be doing any of that double soak, and like you pointed out.
now the answer from the side of Hippopotamus is Greymane Malfoy. So we see a first combo coming in with Greymane could opt into Curse Boy on the left side of Malfoy, and with Last Rites. Just one-shot a target with 2 ultimates.
And it's pretty ironic that Sardonic opted for that Mofurian when he hates it with such a passion, unless I've been fed wrong information.
Possibly.
Could be misinformation. Could be the strategy here for Donna Fedoras. And a Li Ming for the last pick.
Ming coming in as well now for Fedoras. Looking at the draft, ETC definitely the main tank on the side of Hippopotamus. Could still opt into stage dive, don't forget. Card also very strong. Card also very good at rotating towards the mid lane, being annoying. And Malfoy is one of those solo laners who is very good at double soaking.
Indeed he is. If Malfoy does end up doing double soak, I can see Donna Fedoras having some problems potentially in contesting that. although arguably they have the stronger foreman. So it's not like they don't have anything going for themselves in that draft. It's a very interesting situation here. Do we have any predictions in the chat, or did I miss them in terms of who's going to win the game?
Clear draft. Clear draft win for blue team. We see here coming in a lot of bets on B though. A lot possible. Let's jump straight into game number 1 as we start on the left side with Don our Fedoras. We've got Break Bucket on the Chen, Arunas on Liming, Ruini on the Reina, Mist playing the Johanna, and last but not least, Sardonic playing the Mafurin.
And on the right side in red for Team Hippopotamus, we've got Darimotrius playing the Grey Main, Tanis, funnily enough, on Rhaegar, Zlappy on the ETC, Alex on Junkrat, and Mouthel played by La Foudre.
Fight.
Level 1 talents. Already see one coming in, which is lately making more and more of an appearance. We see the Exterminator coming in from the Rainer, so having this additional damage against the minion waves and against the camp here. Can help out the team a lot. On the payload.
No big surprises for now in terms of talents, at least in my opinion. The teams clash on mid for a short brawl. No major damage done to either team, and they split into lanes. We see Maltheo going top against Chen. We'll see if he rotates mid after that for the double lane solo, because the rest of the teams move bottom.
Blue team so far going for rotation on their own.
Yeah, Donna Fedoras seem to be rotating, sorry to cut you, and they seem to be rotating mid and bottom, which tells me Chen will probably hold top, while Matheo is going mid. He's already mid, in fact, so he'll be rotating mid and top.
Alpha apparently going for rotation. In the meantime, we see on the side of Donna Fedoras the 4-man rotating.
Both teams clear their camps, sorry. Oh, wow. Anyways, both teams clear their camps around the same time, which tells me they're both very on track with their timings. Those camps got cleared as soon as they spawned.
Already got the minion wave done from the side of Hippopotamus, so they have the priority in lane, and now they are able to safely clear this camp.
Oh, Mafurin's in a bit of trouble. He's in a lot of trouble, actually. Looked like he could have survived there for a second, but he actually falls down with the first kill going on the side of Hippopotamus.
Got bottom is about to be cleared by red team, and they're not pushing in with this one kill against Mafurin. It's just respawn and is not from the base. But we still have the Johanna and Vayner with a lot of wave clear coming in here, but Johanna taking a lot of damage. The mine coming in. Rooney paused it here. Slappy going in. Rooney taking a lot of damage. There's also still the mine up behind him. But
and suddenly ETC is in a bit of a trouble. Reyna's on the chase and Ming's coming up with a flank. I think that very well might be a kill. Oh, nice dodge by Slappy, but it's not enough as he falls, making it 1-for-1.
And that is the kill for Dawn of Fedoras. 1-to-1 in kills so far. And the first autos are about to spawn with the middle 1 and 2 on the top side.
Yep, it's a triple phase, and probably the teams are gonna trade the 2 autos at the top, and what we're gonna see a bro is the middle tempo here, as Mafurin's already in position along with Joanna.
Go forth and claim the altars in my name.
We see in the bottom a little fight between Ming and Greymane also starting to trade up.
Yep, Greymane
traded as usual.
And Greymane's fine, he gets out there, and the interesting thing is Matheo has rotated for Hippopotamus while Chen has stayed top, so right now Donna Fedoras are facing a 4v5 situation around that altar.
There's another interrupt coming in. Chen still on the top side. The root, I don't think they get in for another interrupt there, do they? No, they are not. So Slappy taking off just the power side against Arunas on the Li Ming. He's taking off damage and he goes down. Not Slappy on the run. He is fine, but Sardonic and Mist taking some damage. Assign is on the regular on the chase, but he decides to turn around as the root comes out, and that's another kill for the side of Hippopotamus, and with the advantage on the map right now, they decide to go for opponent's siege camp in the mid lane, but they know it's a 3v3, but Sonic is out of mana. Nice knock, like penetrating round there from Reyna to interrupt the power slide of Slappy, else he would have catched them off her in there.
That was a very strategic decision on the side of Hippopotamus. They recognized that Chen was stopped and that they were falling behind in XP, so they needed to do something. They went in for the kill, and then fortunately enough for them, it worked out, getting them that level 7 talent and back into the game. Now, yeah, come on.
Looking a little bit around the map. You see again the camp in the bottom is about to be pinned up by the Fedoras.
Shanna's in a bit of trouble on bottom, but not really. She probably has the Iron Skin cooldown ready to pop in case Greymane commits against her. And you gotta remember, this is Towers of Doom. Core health doesn't really matter until it's down to 0. It might be 1, it might be 30. As long as you're ahead in XP, you're playing the game fine. And Donna Fedora so far, they have a hefty, I'd say 3/4 of a XP lead against Hippopotamus, which could come into play around 10.
And not looking at levels, as you say, one level Donna Fedoras needs. Then they are on level 10, then they've got the big power spike. Then in the meantime rotating a lot on the side of the Fedoras. Now we've got 5 men from Hippopotamus around his altar. Just spawned in the mid lane, but also Blood Bucket on the trend this time joins the Fedoras.
It's a very dangerous position for Hippopotamus, because if they drop 1 kill, suddenly Donna Fedoras will be 10 and they can mop them up. I wouldn't be surprised if Hippopotamus actually decided to back off. Although that doesn't seem to be the case. ETC's somewhat committing, or no, he's just spoken. Oh, Greymane very low. Reyna.
A lot of damage coming out from the side of the Fedoras. We see Hippopotamus needing to back off and giving up this altar.
And somehow no one died in that, and the core health is evened out 32 against 32, with Donna Fedora still a hefty half a lead ahead, and they're going to be hitting that level 10 heroic advantage and probably looking to do something where they press their advantage.
With the level 10s coming in, we already see Wave of Force, Hyperion and Tranquility Fit. There's the Blessed Field as well. Alex taking a lot of damage on the Temperate there. But Arun as well, 5 HP, he's on the run and he stays alive for now. But Arsene is now in the wolf form on the run, trying to get behind him, dodging the thingy there. The cocktail, and now a fight for the point. Hyperion coming in, there's Tranquility as well. Happy with the Mosh Pit against 4 man, Bloodlust as well. Rip, Tire, Ming goes down, but ETC falls in return. Rooney now in a big trouble. Alex falling there. Bombs, Keck play, 3 kills, 4. Donna Fedoras, there's the last right against Malfurion, but it's not yet enough. 1 HP.
Oh my god, Malfurion survives as well. Wow, what a fight, what a scrap. And all that started with Li Ming masterfully baiting the other team. I'm sure that wasn't planned, but the Hippopotamus players, they overextended it a lot. And for a second, it looked like that mosh pit was going to turn around the fight. It was a 4-man mosh pit. In combination with Riptire. It was a great move. Probably the only thing that's... Ooh, we have a pause.
Sure, pause.
Let's see what happens. Perhaps one of the teams is feeling the pressure after that fight.
Tag issues, someone? The side of Greymane, apparently. As some people may know, that yesterday Blizzard Service had a little bit of a problem, so most people experienced some heavy lags during their games.
Yep, I was on Stormling and I was getting those awkward lag spikes every now and then. I don't think it had anything to do with internet connection or specific computers. I think it's, like you said, it's Blizzard servers, so we'll see if we can get that lag issue sorted out as soon as we can, although there might not be a lot we can do about it if it's indeed a Blizzard problem.
Did he get the tire off? Yes, he did get the tire off. He also nearly killed Ming, I think. Did it even finish off?
Yep, that confirmed the Li Ming kill, indeed.
And else this fight would have been over a lot faster with Ming getting the reset, being able to kill everyone then. But yes, Ming went for dominance and calamity.
She would have suddenly been full health and she would have wiped the team. Just she needed doubt to stay alive. That first pick, unfortunately, the Riptire wiped her out in the mosh pit. So when the dust settles, we have 6 kills for Donna, Fedoras, and 3 kills for Hippopotamus. What do you think we're gonna see in that next altar phase?
I mean, it's the bottom altar now, which is about to spawn. Ooh. Both teams level 10, by the way. A lot of ultimates
Unfortunately,
used in the last fight.
I can't see the experience pass because of the pause message. That's annoying. Anyway, so both teams are on the same level, yeah?
Very close to the same level.
Okay, so we're probably
no
gonna
talent
see...
advantage. No talent advantage for any team.
No. And Greymane's gonna be back in a second, so probably Hippopotamus is going to want to contest that, or otherwise they might start falling behind both in XP and in core health, which is never a good situation to be in.
The other side, if we take a short look at the cooldowns of the ultimates, we see much lower cooldowns from the side of Donna Fedoras, with plus shield on 60, Hyperion on 100, Tranquility on 80, Wandering Keg on 50, and the Wave of Force on 20 only. What we see on the other side, Go for the Throat 80, Bloodlust 90, Mosh Pit of course 120 seconds, Riptire 75, and the last rides on 70, so...
Let's hope none of the team members was listening to the stream waiting to knock down any cooldowns.
Nah, it's just a general cooldown of the ultimate ability.
I'm sure they're keeping track of it anyways. Come on, we're talking like higher caliber players here, so they'll have a pretty good idea of like how many ults on each side remain and what the cooldowns are.
Definitely. Especially Mosh Pit is one of the long cooldowns you always want to keep track of.
Exactly, it's a big one. You gotta know when you can use your abilities free and willingly, and when you gotta save them just in case that mosh pit comes through and you need to interrupt it. Because like it happened in that last fight, it was a 4-man mosh pit, so it leaves only one player out of that mosh pit. If you don't have anything to interrupt it with, the Riptide comes in, blows you up, and suddenly that team fight is over.
When we take a look at the team in blue of the side of Dawn of Fedoras, in terms of interrupt, there's a lot of interrupts coming in, but this 4-man mosh pit was just crucial, and the keg was the one to interrupt. Actually, it was not around yet. The game is going to keep on going as they are ready again.
Big wheels keep on turning indeed.
Oh,
As we see both teams positioning around. Oh,
taking a lot of damage.
he lives. Very aggressive. Now the auto spawns and both teams are making the rotation for her. We see some pressure from the blue camp, which potentially gives the better position for Donna Fedoras, and they almost get the pick on ETC, but he gets out with just enough HP. However, that's enough to secure the channel for Donna Fedoras, and I bet they're happy with that because they're ahead in health now, core health I mean, and they're ahead in levels. Very close to that 13 talent here.
When we take a short look at the ultimates, we see every ultimate from the side of Fedoras is picked up, while we have on the side of Hippopotamus still mosh pit on 20 seconds cooldown. This is the moment where they want to look for the next fight. Dawn of Fedoras again keeping up with the rotation between mid and top. Sorry, mid and bottom, and the next altar phase will be a double altar in the top side. Mouthful, meanwhile, doing what Mouthful can do. The siege camp on top is about to be taken by him, Jen does not scout it out. Set goes for a rotation towards the mid lane as we see the Junkrat coming in there.
I have some of an interesting talent on level 13 from oh, wait a minute, Junkrat falls to a perfectly placed combo from Li Ming.
Thank you for Zidonian, by the way, for the sub tier 1 already 4 months. Nice one. The siege camp is about to spawn down here as well. Junkrat fallen, we've got again some map pressure for the Fedoras going.
They've been very good at capping those camps on bottom lane, and it kind of makes me think that they will be looking for that belt tower soon, if not perhaps before that phase. I don't think they can confirm it before that phase, but perhaps for the next phase, and it's a very important lane to control in this map, Towers of Doom.
now.
Oh, they are looking to escort the camp. One of the sappers goes through, second, third one go through, putting that bell tower down to half HP, potentially setting up for a conversion later on in the game. Meanwhile, we've got Maltho channeling top right and Chen channeling top left. Seems like both teams are happy to just trade an altar and take the game slow for now.
Your powers will be mine, Gravekeeper, like all the others.
See in the bottom, if Bison Siege can possibly. Same talent here, 1.5 level lead so far for Donna Fedoras, still 1 level away from the current lead, and there they go in with the Hyperion. Great zoning tool. They're able to force
Hyperion
Hippopotamus off the point, so they are able to take it.
You gotta remember though, Hyperion is a rather long cooldown, so when they popped it for that camp, yeah, sure, it secured it, but if ETC can find a good mosh pit right now, that's one less ultimate to go off from the side of Donna Fedoras. But they do get the conversion, so I reckon they're happy with that, with what they got out of that Hyperion use.
The next altar will be a triple altar between with the top 2 altars of course and the one in the very bottom side. With this bottom bell tower now taken from the side of Don of Fedoras.
Oh, Maltho is... He was in a bit of a trouble, but luckily he survived that.
Here in the bottom bell tower taken now by Don of Fedoras. They've got a lot of map pressure and they usually want to defend the bottom right now, but we have Rain in the mid lane taking the wave, no minions left here for the side of Hippopotamus. A lot of damage on Slappy.
Yeah, B2 was tanking that bell tower right, and Hippopotamus, they're very impatient. They know they need to take that tower back before the next triple altar phase, because that could be potentially 15 core damage, but they don't seem to be able to do it. And suddenly they're in a bit of a bad spot here. They can't get to the bottom altar because of the bell tower.
See already Greyman and ETC in the mid, trying to go for top lane, looking for interrupt onto the Chen on the bell tower. Rain a little bit.
Is he gonna get there in time? Greyman almost. Oh, that was very close.
Double bell altar for the side of Donna Fedoras with one more bell tower in their hands, which gives us to a 25 to 14 in core health in favor for the Fedoras.
It's going to be a bit of a uphill fight from now on for Hippopotamus. They're not out of the game by any means yet, but they need to start thinking about what they can do to get momentum back in their favor, which is suddenly not ETC getting caught out like that.
Heroes, I have opened a tunnel near our core that leads to the battleground center. Use it well.
Now we've got little Knockback coming in there in the bottom. Something this, but he's fine. Chunklet, by the way, opting for a full trap build. Mean going kind of standard build, only has 4 armor instead of mana deck on level 1. The little you can take with the 50 armor, you are much harder to kill. You also have some more thing, but you miss out the 10% spell power after getting a glow.
And I'm waiting to see some grey value from that Bloodlust and the grey main, which hasn't happened yet, but it's certainly an option. As Donna Fedoras take yet another camp with the idea to escort it. ETC and Greymane commit for the Li Ming. She is safe over in the backline. Morphurian's healing's great. Here goes the Bloodlust. It seems the target is Junkrat over, and he falls to another good Li Ming combo. She gets the reset, and Rhaegar's falling down as well. It's a mop-up, actually. Donna Fedoras getting 3 kills, potentially 4 if Joanna can get Greymane. It doesn't look like it. Wait, I spoke too soon. Chen gets a Q off, and suddenly Greymane's dead as well, which probably means that Donna Fedoras will be able to close off this game right now.
Bottom, we've got the Sappers about to go into the zone. Top lane, we've got no Chen to go with Reyna starting to push in. Both altars are about to be channeled.
Yep, if you do the math, 6 plus 6 plus 3, it's enough. Yep.
Yes, it is.
That's game. Congratulations to Donna Fedoras.
Going to the core. GG's! Game number 1, as you say, goes over towards the Fedoras.
What a first game. That was quite intense, actually, especially in the early and mid game.
At some point we saw it coming. Donna Fedoras really getting those nice kills with the Li Ming getting the reset, and then are able to just crush the whole opponent team.
Indeed, if we look at the, I'm still looking at the stats. If we ignore the difference in kills numbers, it was actually a surprisingly close game. despite Hippopotamus being arguably on their back foot, they kept up in terms of numbers. It's just that they struggled a bit in the fights, I think, to call out their targets and focus to secure those very important kills in the mid game.
In the meantime, we've got now Hippopotamus losing map number 1. We have the choice between map pick or first pick, and then Dawn of Fedoras gets the hour 1. Map still left open. We've got Alterac Pass, Battlefield of Eternity, Cursed Hollow, Tomb of the Spider Queen, and Garden of Terror. Is there any map you expect to see coming out from Hippopotamus if they look for map pick?
Yeah, I'm very curious. I think Hippopotamus will probably opt for the map choice here. And with Temple of Anubis banned, I am actually not sure what they would opt for. Do you know if they have any preferred maps?
I don't know, but Hippopotamus already decided they want to go for the first pick, so Dawn of Fedoras with the map pick in this case.
Okay, well that's certainly interesting. It kind of tells me that Hippopotamus liked the way draft worked out last time, and they believe it was small executional errors that led them to lose the game. They don't seem too worried with the map choice, so probably they're just looking for a rematch of last game. Just they don't care basically where it happens, as long as it happens and they get another chance at crushing Dawn of Fedoras.
Apparently.
I'm quite curious about what we're gonna see in terms of first pick for Hippopotamus, since they made the choice to go first pick. Do you think it's gonna be the same first pick as last game? Remind me, what was it?
Junkrat.
It was Junkrat, yes.
I think it depends on the map. If they go for Dragonshire, where Junkrat is really good at holding the bottom point. But no, wait, Dragonshire is banned. Actually, looking at those maps, I don't think Junkrat is too strong on any of those. Except for Alterac Pass. It's one of the maps I don't really expect to see from him. From any of the teams. Because if you think, if you're on the right side, the objective spawns in the bottom, you're able to drop the nade over the wall, and you're able to, drop the mine over the wall, and you've got vision. And then you can just delay indefinitely with your grenade launcher.
Yeah, that's a lot of delay there. Kind of similar to why he's so good around not bell towers, excuse me. What's the word? The
Altars.
Anyways, the objective on towers are doing that. Altars, that's it. He's great at delaying and at point control. Although, like you said, we won't necessarily gonna see any of those maps. So perhaps Hippopotamus are going to be showing us something fresh, something new, and I think they could benefit from that kind of a strategy.
You already got the map pick coming in, by the way.
Tomb of the Spider Queen, interesting. So a 3-lane map, but smaller as far as 3-lane maps go. And Waveclear is a very prominent on this map. In fact, sometimes it's called Tomb of the Waveclear Queen.
That sounds fitting, to be honest.
And it's another one of those maps where you can do double lane soak with the solo laner. So perhaps we could see Malthel again, or Zu if he miraculously makes it through the banning phase.
On the other side, I also want to take a short look on the profile of one of the players. I want to have a look on Arunas. He played the Ming in the last game, and with those resets, he really was able to pop off and kill the opponents. And we also saw the Chromie band coming in from the side of Hippopotamus. When we have a short look here, we see the most played hero is actually Chromie, then the Arak, and the Ming as third. So seeing all those three heroes, Chromie very new, very annoying on Tomb of Spider Queen. Arak also very strong on those rotation maps where you are able to punish a hero if they're a little bit out of position. Ming not so strong here, but we saw her popping off in the last game.
Exactly. I'm interested to see if Hippopotamus are gonna actually ban the Li Ming, because she's not that great on the map. I mean, there's a lot of small stuff that gets in the way of her skill shots, if you know what I mean. Lots of small minions, smaller lanes. The objective creates like smaller. What are they called? The web weavers, they create like 2 minions. I don't actually know what they're called.
I don't know either.
That's a question for the chat. Does anyone in the chat know what the 2 creatures that the web weavers can summon are called? I'm sure someone knows the answer.
Yeah, but anyways, we've got both teams in the lobby and we're starting into game number 2 of this best of 3 series, possibly the last game, with Hippopotamus with the first pick here.
Okay, and where we go in banning phase. Let's see what Hippopotamus ban. This is gonna tell us a lot of what they're thinking. That's the Chromie ban again, so maybe they've done their research and they know they can't afford to let Donna Fedoras play Chromie. Such a comfortable pick for them.
The chat spamming spiders question mark. Anyways, here we go again with the Xulban from the side of the Fedoras. I predict tap Primitive. But anyway, exclamation mark, bet B if you think Hippopotamus is able to come back into this game number 2, or exclamation mark, bet A if you think Donna Fedoras looked pretty awesome in game number 1 and will also close out the series in this game number 2.
Second banning phase, we've got a bit of a surprise. Hippopotamus ban Junkrat, which is, I mean, just because they played their last game, it doesn't mean Donna Fedoras can't play him naturally. But it's still a bit of a surprise. And then Valor coming out of Donna Fedoras. That's an interesting ban on this map.
Yeah, Vala with the W build, of course, having great wave clear, also with the movement speed, she's able to rotate between top and mid quite fast without losing the hatred stacks.
We see Janna being picked here as the priority for Hippopotamus, which obviously she is great on the map. A lot of wave clear, especially for a tank. She can lead the 4-man rotation very safely, and she's great to have around those turning in points. Oh, here's the Uther. Is it gonna be solo heal though? That remains to be seen.
It's definitely possible. Reina now coming in as well again from the side of the Fedoras. Possibly with Exterminator again for two moves Spuda Queen, as I call it. You get some great wave clear and get some nice clear against the spiders themselves. So, definitely possible to see Exterminator coming in again.
True, I mean, it's definitely a possibility, and it seems Rhaegar is a very comfortable healer pick for Tanis, opting to go for him in the second game as well. Now, Sylvanas, we'll have to keep an eye on her because she can get a lot done with her black arrows around the top lane, while with the boss and the web weavers potentially.
Potentially. Minus great push. Rhaegar also coming in again, as you said. Lyric is the ban from the Fedoras. Deciding to remove Lyric as he is having great wave clear. Interested into what they are planning on the solo lane. Crypt Crawlers. There we got the name. Thanks, Eric.
Oh, thank you, Crypt Crawlers.
Sounds fitting.
Yeah, now we know. Every day we learn something new.
Yeah, with the Lyric ban removing one of the percentage damage heroes, Hippopotamus is already like, nah, you don't gonna get Deathwing. And they ban him out themselves. I would have loved to see the Deathwing coming in.
Yeah, that would have spiced things up, wouldn't it?
It would definitely.
But instead we get a Muradin, and do we get a solo lane? And no, we get Hanzo, so don't have to throw us up to either leave a second healer for the last pick, potentially, or a solo laner.
And you can put the Uther into the solo lane, but on Tomb of Spider Queen you want to have wave clear, as you already called it before, to remove the wave clear. You don't really want
it's
to
so
put,
great.
don't really want to put the Uther into the solo lane, because he lacks a lot of this wave. And also, if the opponents with Sylvanas and Rhaegar, it's definitely possible. Just go for the camp in the bottom. And now we've got
Talking about second
Anduin.
healers. Ooh, I didn't see that one coming. Did you?
Rhaegar solo lane. I did not expect it. Not gonna lie. It's definitely a thing you can have in your mind. As we talked about wave clear, Rhaegar great at clearing waves.
Makes sense. I mean, his lightning shoot is great. It used to be even better with that level 1 talent that hasn't been in the game for quite a while, where you could just put down a totem and then put a W on the totem and get it on yourself for free. Basically, now it's a level 13 or 16 talent, 16? I believe. Either way, still very good wave clear option for that top lane. And he's going to be going up against the Ragnaros. How does a Rhaegar against Ragnaros work? I don't think I've seen that.
Wave clear. Guys, we've got Ragnaros coming from Donna Fedoras. As you say, we've got just wave clear on the blue side and on the red side as well. Team's looking heavily into wave clear. Wave clearing a lot.
Yep, and the interesting thing is, Uther's probably arguably one of the healers with the least amount of healing output, at least in raw numbers. And then on the other side, we've got Rhaegar. Even though he's going to be going for the top lane, he's still in the team fights. He's still going to be effectively 2 healers against 0.75 in terms of raw healing output. So I'm very interested to see how that works out.
Behold, Ragnaros. We see Red Bucket on Ragnaros. Anyways, we are going into this game, number 2, possibly last game, with on the left side in blue. We've got Don, our Fedoras, Arunas playing the hands of Sardonic on the solo heal Uther here. Mist on Murden, Rooney on the Jimmy, and last but not least, Ragnaros, Red Bucket on Ragnaros.
And on the right for Hippopotamus, the team currently 1-0 down. We've got Anduin played by Tanis, Grey main by Terimotrius, Joanna by Slappy, Rhaegar, the solo laner apparently, by Lafordre, and Alex on that Sylvanas.
Having immediately a look on the low on tones, we already see the W coming out, the electric charge for Rhaegar, so having the increased radius and a little bit of healing with the shield as well.
Yep, kind of tells me. Yeah, you'll probably go for that W build.
What's the W build for the wave clear? And we see Exterminator coming out from Reyna, of course. And Hanzo opting to an auto attack build so far.
Yeah, that's a bit of an interesting choice. You don't often see the auto attack build, and not, especially not on
Red Bucket in the bottom in a lot of trouble. But he's able to escape. The current looks of it, we've got a double lane in the bottom for the side of Hippopotamus with Sylvanas and Anduin. Meanwhile, the other 3 are rotating between mid and top, as with Johanna and Rhaegar. You have tons of wave clear.
Bit of a gang being set up here on bottom, potentially trapping Anduin. He's getting very low on health, and the Meteor confirms it. Red Bucket getting his revenge.
That's the revenge.
But he falls down.
Now everyone dropping half-life. Mist might be a little bit in trouble. No, he's Merlin. He's fine. Meanwhile, Aruna's stacking up quite well already. 8 out of 12 stacks so far. And Johanna, meanwhile, doing wave clearing duties.
Yep, doing what she's doing best. And Merlin's already back to like full health, so he can position forward, protect his team, which is what Merlin obviously does very well, is regaining his HP outside of combat. Sylvanas is onto that siege camp, looking to get it perhaps uncontested if Donna Fedoras don't smell it out, but they do. However, Hanzo walks out rather bravely, and he pays for that with his life. Another kill for Hippopotamus, getting a better start so far in game number 2 as opposed to game number 1.
It's not just a kill for Hippopotamus with some experience, but it's also 3 stacks less on the side of Redemption Hanzo. And with level 4s coming in, we see the explosive arrow for Hanzo to get even more wave clear. Rag going for...
Oh, Merlin is contesting that siege camp, although he went in with Dwarf though, so he doesn't have it for an escape, and now it looks like he's gonna fall down. Yep, that's quite a few gems. Is Uther gonna get him? Yep. He manages to save those jimmies. Very important for the objective.
Damage have been saved, but we've got a very big experience lead so far for Hippopotamus with half a level lead. We're also looking at their cruiser camp.
It certainly is looking good for them, and they're gonna take that bruiser camp. I don't think Donna Fedoras is gonna be able to contest that deep into enemy territory, and it's gonna put them in a very good position for a turn in. They're missing just a few gems, 7, but if you can time it well enough, they could get a decent push on the mid lane with that camp. Oh, Joanna's in trouble on bottom lane. She falls, and Grayman can't do much. He's suddenly in a 1v3 situation as well, falling down very low, but not quite dying.
Got the turn-in happening in the bottom. Stun against Anduin. Anduin taking a lot of damage, especially from this Redemption Hunter. There's another stun coming from Uther, and the Tanis on the Anduin goes down.
That's what Uther is so good. He just walks in, stuns, confirms the kill. He can tank a shot at you. He doesn't care. He's Uther. He's got heals for days. He's got sustain. He's got damage. He's got everything.
He's got sustain for days about Uber. I don't know. But anyways, Lafudra now scouting out that the turn-in is happening down here. Down here, meanwhile, we've got Toplin also turn-in coming in. We're trying to run now here on the Rega.
Ragnar's falling down low, but suddenly it's Greymane that's in very much trouble. Fortunately, Anduin comes in just in time to save the day. And like you pointed out, it's suddenly an even game. 3 kills versus 3 kills. Even XP. Hans is in a bit of a trouble. He's getting chased down by Joanna. However, Uther timely intervenes.
Those 25 armor, and Sivan's coming from the back. Uther stun to the face and have Joanna there, and he goes down. Still got a 3 against 4 down here in favor of Hippopotamus. So they lost the hero and now... Oh, Reyna in the mid lane. Meanwhile, Pate topped his gems in, so the blue web weavers are coming in first. You see a small experience lead for them as well.
Yeah, you can't leave a Reyna go uncontested. He's gonna pew you to death. He's gonna get the minions, he's gonna get the soak, he's gonna get the turn in, and then he's just gonna do what he does best, which is apparently ganking Rhaegar, and Rhaegar is running in a very strange direction. Doggy, this is the enemy base. You need to run right, my friend. That's the boss. That's a dead end. No, don't go there. Oh, he's in a bit of a trouble, isn't he?
Yeah, they're right. But there's the stun. Reyna there with the pew auto attacks, and Rhaegar goes down.
In a very timely fashion as well, because suddenly Hippopotamus down a player and they're getting a web weaver phase pushing into their forts. They're not gonna hit 10 anytime soon, and 10 is just around the corner for Donna Fedoras. This is suddenly looking very, very, very inconvenient for the team in red.
Our Fedoras looking strong after getting the 10,000 point bet in the betting before. Taking down the top 4, level 10 now hit by them, and we see Lava Wave, Dragon's Arrow, Hyperion, Avatar, and the Divine Shield.
Hyperion seems to be a favorite for the Raider player here, Rooney, which is, correct me if I'm wrong, usually we tend to see Banshee, don't we?
Well, yes and no. The advantage of Banshee is that she is very strong in teamfight and stuff. Hyperion is just this mega cloning tool, same as the Phoenix, for example, for the side of Calpot.
Yeah.
With this Hyperion, you have a mega sonic tool, and you can also push in very, very good. On the other side, we've got Hippopotamus now bringing out the Falling Sword Light Bomb combo. While we also have Cursed Bullet, Bloodlust, and the Wailing Arrow.
And Cursed Bullet already went off on Morphirion. He's chunked down to half, and perhaps Hippopotamus are looking for something. That's Falling Sword from Janna. Very, very strange position there. Doesn't hit anyone, but the Rhaegar Bloodlust comes through, and the Light Bomb's great, hitting 3 people. That's a very good engage for Donna Fedoras. Excuse me, for Hippopotamus, as they get first Ragnaros and then potentially Muradin or Reyna. Ooh, that was some great Uther healing to save 2 members that could have very easily died in that team fight.
Divine Shield saving the Reyna there. It's great cool for them, but Ragnaros not having his own one. First bullet against Murden, so he had to go back a little bit. Now Sylvanas trying to go for the turn-in, but there is Aruna's Hanzo with the interrupt. He's a very long range. Number 1. Just getting poked on a little bit, but he's able to jump over the wall, get into safe. Delayed long enough, so Ragnaros is just respawn. Mid lane, we've got the Bluzer camp in favor of Donna Fedoras pushing in now, and top lane. Also a big wave for them coming in, so Hippopotamus has to defend the lines a little bit first before they go somewhere and get some value out of the weapon. But talking about getting some value, we've got in the bottom the dive into the forest. Tarimorita is dropping very low. Uther, 60 HP.
Uther, my man! Oh, that was so unfortunate that the ranged minions aggroed on him. Otherwise, he could have potentially maybe survived that.
Potentially. Minions too strong. Nexus forces OP. Now Lao Wave in the mid lane clearing out the minions. Makes team lose out of gems though. But already getting rid of the minions, making the Web Weaver immediately tanking the front wall, the towers. It's a very strong tool in the defense. And now with the bottom also being defended, now we got the potential what's top lane. There's the Falling Sword. But Han's able to jump out.
It's still what we were pushing top, and I think Hippopotamus are looking for at least a 4 wall, but here comes that passive from Ragnaros. And that's probably going to be the end of that push for Hippopotamus. They want to disengage from that fire pit as quickly as they can.
Also saw the Hyperion coming out there for the defense. Strength arrow up in 5 seconds. He was used before to try to get the kill on Draven, but it was a miss.
I reckon Hippopotamus are going to be waiting for 13. Potentially, they might want to even sacrifice the next objective phase just so they get that chance of fighting at even talent tiers.
They have to defend now. Next turn in for one of yours is starting pushing out the lane again. Lot of damage against Mist. There's the falling sword coming in. Dragon arrow as well for the interrupt. The waiting arrow and Mist is fine on the Muradin.
So far, Falling Sword hasn't seen too much value. It's a rather, well, I wouldn't say strange choice because with Bloodlust it can work. But so far they haven't managed to pull it off.
I would love, in this game I would love to see Falling Sword Light Bomb just to get a good starting engage.
Yeah.
Then they come them in. And then with Bloodlust just running them down with type of Silent Arrow. Cruiser camp not taken by Hippopotamus, but there's the Curse Bullet against Mist, there's the Light Bomb and the Bloodlust, but there's Divine Shield. So they are running away, Lava Wave coming in, a lot of damage!
That's a lot of damage. Sylvanas in trouble, so is Greymane. Greymane falls, Sylvana gets away with her E, and Anduin's left behind suddenly. He gets away, but Joanna's not gonna be so lucky, she has fallen down. She doesn't have Iron Skin, and she does die. Rhaegar's in a bit of trouble, although this time around he's running in the right direction. Wait. Rhaegar, my man.
He's turning around.
He heard me. He gets away? Question mark.
If it looks like they ignore him, yeah, okay, you know what? Don't take too much time of us. We are going ahead and looking for a keep. In the meantime, looking at Stretch Falling Sword only makes sense if they use Light Bomb Falling Sword. Otherwise, it's just inferior to shield. Guys, this is why you don't... Fire is hot. Don't stand in it. We saw it coming in here with the Lava Wave.
Don't stand in the fire if playing World of Warcraft or Stormy. One thing is, don't stand in the fire. It's generally very good advice as Donna Fedoras pick up 1 key, potentially 2. Mid is very low, but I think they're gonna have to back up. There's no Light Bomb, but Falling Sword gets some damage done and Light Bomb follows up.
Well.
And suddenly Donna Fedoras are very low. Hanzo's running for his life.
There's the Molten Core coming in, the big stun onto Anduin and Johanna. Now they're forced into this little spot up there. So now Vector coming in. But it looks like both teams are taking off. At least Hippopotamus is, and they always try to go in. But there's a leap of faith from Anduin.
Yeah, good leap of faith saving Joanna there. And unfortunately for Donna Fedoras, they didn't have any outs off of cooldown for when that Molten Core went off. It would have been great if they had something to follow up. But unfortunately, the time was running in their favor.
Now Mist taking a lot of damage, but there is the jump. Popping the Avatar and Divine Shield on him, so 2 ults used to keep him alive. There's the Falling Sword really taking a lot of damage, and he goes down. Craven is range to jump on him. There's the always coming in again. And just keep pushing the wave, and everyone is able to dodge it. The fire this time.
Bit of a miscommunication there potentially with Muradin and Uther there. I think Muradin would probably been fine with just Scizor, which would have meant Uther could have saved Divine Shield and then he could have got Rainer out of that scary position. That's why you call those ults out, gentlemen.
Well, the push coming in here.
And Ragnar sneaked the camp on bottom, so Hippopotamus are going to have to rotate for that at some point soon because he's going to start pressuring their keep. Another team fight's brewing on mid.
There is Light Bomb and Falling Sword afterwards. Arun is taking a lot of damage here on the Hamza, but he's able to get behind the wall. He's got very low as well, but Muradin even lower as he goes down.
Oh, Rainer's picking up the gems. He's overextending a bit. Cuspale hits him, but he's fine. He had his E on off of cooldown. It's a hefty heal there, keeping him safe.
Bruno's taking a lot of damage. The jump ready and goes out.
While Hippopotamus is fighting, this two camps pushing mid and bottom, and suddenly Sylvanas is dead. It's a 4v4 situation. They really need to back off to defend their keeps, otherwise they might lose the standing structures. And Greymane falls as well, and suddenly this is looking very good for Donna Fedoras.
Hansa jumping out, then Uso with the Divine Shield. Hansa able to kill the Greymane as he tried to go for the kill. Now to Hannah, only one left for the side of Hippopotamus, and uses Falling Sword to get out.
I'm surprised we're not seeing a right click on call from Donna Fedoras. Perhaps they want to play it safe, get the keeps, prepare a turn in phase, and then just overwhelm their opponents. Perhaps even wait for 20 if they're feeling overly safe.
Mid lane keep goes down. Bottom took a lot of damage to the siege times, as you mentioned before, which were made by Ragnarok, pushing in uncontested. Also, Bruiser camp is about to be taken up by the Fedoras together with the minion wave pushing in.
And a Bruiser camp on mid as well. That's going to be a lot of pressure going directly to the core. I think Hippopotamus' best choice right now is to look for a fight. Hope that goes very well for them very quickly and then clear their lanes. Which seems it's what they're going to be doing.
Light bomb, this time the first time well executed. Now the Dragon coming in, Bloodlust as well. Reyna dropping low. Divine Shield up in 15 though.
Meanwhile, Hyperion gets the last keep, and the werewolves are going to be hitting the base very soon. Donna
Wave coming in.
Look.
Now we're able to finish off the Greymane there. Mid lane big wave. Sylvanas going down to minions. 2 kills for Don our Fedoras Divine Shield as well. And the Hannah goes down. Rega on the run. That is over. And 3 Web Weavers hit the core. This GG.
Ooh, what an ending to that game. That escalated very quickly.
Looked so good in the mid lane. The one fight for Hippopotamus, and they got the early kill. But they just all went to hell as Sylvanas got killed by the Hanzo with the Pierce on 60. And Greymane went in for the kill, but the Divine Shield was there to save him, and he was able to take down the Greymane. And in the meanwhile, we had Ragnaros flanking them and getting this kill as well.
So solo heal Luther available after all? It's a thing, question mark, especially with Divine Shield. Certainly looks like it from Donna Fedoras' performance today on Tomb of the Spider Queen.
Looking at Donna Fedoras, those are amazing players, and as they're all in the game for a very long time, and they're playing together for a very long time. Uber main heal, solo heal is one of the things you have to have a lot of communication between, a lot of synergy with your teammates, and Donna Fedoras is just proving it one more time that they have the synergy to pull off the Uber solo lane, as Uber solo heal.
Yep, if you look, he got, roughly speaking, out of the stats, he got 33k healing done, while on the opposing team, they had 2 healers with 50 plus k each. And yet that didn't seem to make the difference, because you gotta remember, Divine Shield, very good ultimate.
It definitely is. And taking a last look on to the maps. See everything tainted in blue this time. Already have next game about to start, which will be between Deers and Honk Goose Criminals. Just give me a second to set everything up.
Alright, this is the time when I tell the chat jokes. Unfortunately, I haven't prepared anything funny. Let me turn off my telephone's volume. That was very unprofessional of me. I apologize. Okay, where we are. Game number 1 finished with 2-1. Very convincing for Donna Fedoras, letting them progress on towards the next stage.